Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Gary Holt from Exodus and formerly from Slayer, and you're listening to The Razor's Edge.
Welcome back to The Razor's Edge. I'm joined by Jacob, the mastermind behind the epic project Kvaen. So, thank you so much for joining me today, dude. How are you doing today?
Oh yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah, I'm doing fine. It's Friday, Friday night here, and it's been really, really warm today. Too warm for my taste. I'm not a big fan of the hot summer weather. I'm more of a fall kind of guy or winter. But a few days of sun every now and then doesn't bother. But today's been too warm, so I'm currently sort of just finally, the temperature's getting getting down. And
Yeah, we're going through something of a little mini heat wave here in normally grey old England, but it's way too hot for us over here, so we're struggling too. So I totally get you there.
yeah.
And anyway, we are of course here to talk about your brand new album, The Formless Fires, which dropped on June 21st. Congrats with it, by the way, man. It's absolutely amazing. So. Have you had the chance yet to like gauge the reaction from your audience? What have people been making of this album?
Uh, well, yeah. I mean, I haven't read anything bad so far, so I mean, it's reviews have been dropping in, and everything's looking really good over my expectations. But yeah, everything just seems to be people seem to enjoy it, and yeah, I mean, we reached like 100,000 streams within like 2.5 days or something. So something is brewing for sure.
Yeah, amazing. It feels like to me that each album you've done so far has been really, really good, but each one feels like a bit more, I guess, epic than the one that's come before, even if only slightly. Has that been a deliberate stylistic choice, or has that just happened naturally?
Well, I I would say it's something that comes with age, I guess, because when I wrote the first album, the Funeral Pyre, I started writing when I was in my early 20s, and now I'm over 30. So I mean, it's a natural progression, and I guess you can say that I have become a way more mature songwriter, and just the way I think about writing music and arranging and everything that comes down to the songwriting has evolved a lot in these past 3 4 years. So I think that's the answer.
Yeah, okay, great. I know you have a bunch of shows coming up over the rest of the year. Are there any songs off the new album in particular that you're really excited to get to showcase live?
Well, I just got home from a from a small like release tour. We did 3 shows in Germany, so I mean we played more than half of the album, and everything seems to be working out real well. I mean, it's always a little bit, I always get a little bit nervous, like when first time that you perform the new songs live, you're like, shit, is this going to work or is it not going to work? But all the music that I write is always, I know that it's gonna be songs that you can perform even when, let's say that, so some songs have like backing tracks and stuff like that. But I always write music that, even if the backing track stopped working, you can just shut off the computer and do it, old school style. So which always happens, when the moment you start getting involved with the computers, something wrong is bound to happen. And but whenever that happens, it's all about how professional you are and how to solve the situation. So, and of course, it comes down to, can you play the songs without that stuff? And in Kvaen's case, it's always, like, it's always, you can always play the songs without those tracks anyway. So.
Yeah, definitely. Especially in today's age, the amount of bands that are using like backing tracks and whatnot. It's a new skill musicians have to learn what to do when your laptop breaks. It's not something we thought we had to worry about 10 years ago, but that's where we are now, I guess. Cool. So I wanted to ask about your musical inspirations and whatnot, because I've read from various places a lot of your music. It seems that you have a real connection with where you live, and that's where a lot of it leads into your music. What is it about your home that really resonates with you and enters your music in that way?
Mm. Well, well. Well, for me, it's how should I explain it? I mean, there is no place in Sweden like the north of Sweden. It's so unique in every way. I mean, even if you take like if you look at it from a musical perspective, I mean, when people talk about the underground in Stockholm and Gothenburg, I mean, when I grew up, like when I grew up in the early 2000s, I mean, there wasn't really, I mean, there wasn't a scene even. I mean, if you were lucky, you got your hands on a copied cassette from the band who someone knew. So it was really, really, really underground to find all these bands and stuff. Now when the internet exploded, it's not that cool anymore. But for me, I think remain in that, I don't know, in that phase where I'm still I'm still looking for that feeling. But the North has always been a very big inspiration, not only in terms of how beautiful it is here, but there is some force of nature that just, I don't know, that speaks to me a lot. And if you Google the Arctic Circle and you see pictures, I mean, I think you can understand also how or what I'm talking about.
Yeah, awesome. Specifically though, I've seen you mention that you like to write a lot during the winter months. What it seems like black metal especially just seems to really resonate with with sort of that back end, the colder months of the year, basically. But what is it about that time of year that gets you in that headspace to write, as opposed to this heat wave we're going through?
Well, winter here is it's you either love it or you hate it. Like it gets like below 30 sometimes, and it's really rough, and it can be very hard on your mental health if you're not prepared for it. So I always prepare because I mean, it's 4 months at least, from that. I mean, we have like 2.5 months of total darkness and like 2-3 hours of sunlight between January and February. So you have to really go into the mindset that, yeah, it's gonna be real darkness. But that's also when a lot of great songs comes out. And I have never been the guy. Okay, I sit down. I'm gonna write a song. I can do like, yeah, I can sit down. I'm gonna try to do some riffs, but to write songs, I've never been able to do that. So for me, everything just comes natural, and especially during winter time. And I don't know, I think winter by itself is just very inspiring to me. The aurora borealis, northern lights, oh, are being seen frequently. So
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Yeah, incredible. I think we had this weird phenomenon in the UK a couple of months ago where we were able to see the aurora borealis. It was like you never get to see that on this island, but it happened and it's absolutely breathtaking. So that I can completely believe that. Would it be fair to say that were you to live anywhere else, the music you make wouldn't exist in the way that it is?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, cool. So I watched a video on Metal Blade's YouTube channel. It was with yourself, kind of like a get to know the band kind of thing. And I was intrigued when you mentioned that at first you didn't think this was going to be a performing band or a touring band or anything like that. One album and done kind of thing. What made you change course? What made you think, let's give it a try. Let's see what happens live.
Well, I've always been a very spontaneous person. So whenever I come up with idea, I rarely just say, I'm not gonna do that. And I'm the kind of opposite. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna try and see what happens. And that's what I did with the Funeral Pyre. It was more like revisiting my 15-year-old, me, because I ever since I heard Bathory, I always wanted to have like a one-man band and do everything by myself, and yeah, all that jazz. So basically, it was more like now when I actually had the money to do it and everything, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this one album. Maybe just do something else just to get it out, gotta get it out of my head. And then the album started selling a lot, and we started getting really good reviews. And then the question came from different promoters that are you thinking about grabbing these three stages, because we're very interested and we have good spots if you want to. And I said, okay, maybe we can do this one show. like do a smaller show and see if it works. If it works, then we'll do continue. If it doesn't, then it was, then it is what it is. So we did this one show in Stockholm, and it turned out brilliant. And after that, the train has been rolling.
Yeah, amazing. I know you name dropped Bathory there, and I was going to ask because, of course, they're huge. Obviously, Bathory was a huge inspiration for yourself, not just the music, but as you said, the idea of being the sole creative of a project. Have you always preferred creating by yourself, or have you ever like worked in a collaborative band kind of sense?
Yeah, when I was younger, I mean, I was, I was writing a lot with my friends, but they never wrote songs. They always wrote just parts. I always liked writing songs. So yeah, of course. But and then I had a project with the previous guitar player of Kvaen. We have written, I don't know, 15, 20 songs together throughout the years, and some really good, some not so great. But but yeah, of course. But I don't. For me, it's with Kvaen at least. It's more. This is what I want to tell the world musically and lyrically, and I'm not gonna let anyone tell me what I can and what I can't. So yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, awesome. I mean, going off what we were just saying before about performing live shows and that, obviously, Bathory famously stopped doing live shows very early on in their career. Apparently, Thomas said organizing live shows is too much hassle, which, fair enough. Do you think that a lot of times musicians get too caught up in the songwriting about wondering how this is going to sound live? Because I imagine if I, for example, if I knew I was never going to do a live show again, I would write music probably very differently. Do you think that makes sense?
I mean, you should always do whatever feels best for you. I mean, because you got to question yourself, am I doing this for myself or for someone else? And I think that's kind of where the like heart and soul of creating art is. I mean, or do you want to do this for yourself or not? And I mean, I can't answer for anyone else. I can just answer for me, and I wouldn't change anything, whether it's live or like for a live situation or not. I mean, I write whatever comes out and try to make the best out of the situation.
Yeah, brilliant. The songs you write, they're very, I guess, quite musically rich. There's a lot going on in them. How do you start writing Kvaen song? Where does the inspiration normally start?
Well, that's very hard to say. Sometimes I hear a melody. Yeah, most of the time it starts with like a melody, I guess. Uh, and I hum it and I record it and then I put chords behind it and then I put the drum beat on and I take it from there. And normally I start with maybe a chorus. It usually starts there because I always think that a great song has a great chorus. Um, so yeah, great starts with a melody and then I just build it. Sometimes maybe I come up with a riff, but that rarely happens anymore. Most of the stuff happens with a melody.
Okay, great. Speaking of the subject matter of the music as well, you use a lot of mythology and a lot of history as the basis for your songs. Do the how do I word this? How do you decide what each song should be about? Is it directed by the music, or is the music directed by the topic?
Well, that's a very hard. I mean, I always go by my gut when it comes to those kind of things, because I gotta like think about like, okay, is this theme really going to make people convinced about what I'm trying to say? Because I mean, if you sing about the devil and you play major chords all over the place, it's not really. It's gonna be more of a parody, right? So no, it's more like, I mean, sounds like Basilisk, for example, which is a very hard hitting, I don't know, black metal song, which obviously feels more natural to sing about the Basilisk probably than some of the other themes on the album, like the Dödas song, which is about Ättestupan, the ritual that was performed during yeah, a long time ago. But yeah, so I mean, it's more like a yeah. this is definitely like all about trusting my gut.
Yeah, great. I know you just mentioned a track which I believe in English is "Song of the Dead." I think about that Norse suicide ritual. Of course, I'm sure myself and many people first became aware of that during the film Midsummer, but I had no idea that was an actual thing that happened. But yeah, that's just another reason why that film scared the hell out of me. But anyway, speaking of Midsummer, that's when the album came out, June 21st. Was that a happy accident or completely intentional?
That's, I would say, more of an accident.
Okay. Well, happy accident, definitely. Cool. So, I've also noticed how many awesome musicians that you've worked with over the years to have feature on your music. You've had members from Arch Enemy, Merciful Fate, Fintroll. This album, you've got guys from Necrophobic and Dark Funeral. Um, Given that what we were saying that you love to be like the creative force behind the project, what makes you think at times for this song I want to bring someone in as well?
Well, I mean, whenever I bring someone in, it's usually someone that I have a connection with. Oh yeah, I like, for example, when I had Jeff Loomis come in and do a solo, it's I play another band called Ghost Ship Octavius, which features Van Williams, who was the drummer of Nevermore, for example. So there was this connection there, and well, the Dark Funeral guys, I've known most of them for quite some while. And same with the Necrophobic guys. So for me, it's all about just inviting, like asking my friends, like, hey, would be cool if you could do a solo. And it's just for fun. It's not that, I'm trying to win some attention or anything. It's nothing really to do with that. It's just because I have the chance to work with amazing people and amazing musicians. And yeah, I'm a lucky guy, to be able to have these guys, and that they respect me. So that's really cool.
Yeah, well, definitely. Do you ever do you always think I think it'd be really cool if you were on this song because of your style, or is it more of a do you want to be involved and we'll play around to see where you fit kind of thing? Like, do you how far when you ask them, do you know which song you're going to put them in, basically?
No, I no, because I always finish the song first, and then I listen to it, and I like, oh, yes, I think about it, and I asked, this is not really this guy's style, but I think could be it could be really cool if he actually did a solo on this track. Like on the song where Sebastian plays, he isn't maybe like a super like that kind of guitar player, but the solo he did was like really fitting, and it's a little bit not of his style. So I thought that it would be really cool to try at least if he could do like a shred guitar solo, like really fast, and it turned out great. So I mean, I never think like, yeah, this song is perfect for this or that or whatever. Um, and also that comes more from the gut. I'm like, this is great. Yeah, let's ask if he wants to do it.
Yeah, brilliant. Are there any musicians out there that you think I'd love to get them on an album one day?
Oh, there are so many, but most of them have sadly passed away. Like I would love to have guys like Peter Steele or Warrell Dane. Um, I mean, there are so many that I would have loved to be able to work with. I mean, if I could work with Quarton or something like get him featured or whatever, that would be great. Also, I mean, to be able to work with some of the Slayer guys would be cool, like Dave Lombardo or something. I don't know. That would be really cool.
Yeah, great. Amazing. So, the new album is now, of course, out, but what does the rest of 2024 have in store for Kvaen?
Well, we are preparing for a couple of festivals now, and we're gonna do more press. I'll be doing tons of stuff throughout the year, sorry. And yeah, I mean gigs. There will be a lot of gigs also. There are tours being planned as we speak, and yeah, there will be a madness happening for sure.
Definitely. And I'm going to ask the selfish question here. Any chance at all for a date or two in the UK?
Definitely being planned. We received a lot of great response from the audience last time we performed with when we went on tour with the Insomnium and the Morning. So that's definitely in the plans. We definitely hope that it's going to happen. I mean, I love the UK and I love playing there, and yeah, I really want to come back.
Amazing. And a final selfish question: is it too early to ask if there's new music brewing in the background?
Always.
Always, definitely amazing. Can't wait to hear it. Anyway, that's all I've got. Thank you so much, dude, for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure to meet you.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me, and thanks for showing your interest in the band. It really
Oh,
means a lot.
definitely. No worries, dude. And for everyone watching, Kvaen's new album, The Formless Fires, is out now. So go check it out. It's one of the top black metal albums of the year so far. Thanks so much again, dude, for joining me. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
Thanks for listening. Make sure you keep up to date with all of our interviews by subscribing to our channel. For all the latest news, reviews, interviews, and more, head over to our website, www.therazorsedge.rocks.